I'm a little bit sad. Just a little bit. I saw that some other critics got access to Fixed early. I did not. I did not. I gave Strays a positive review. Probably would have been a good idea to give me Fixed early, since apparently the word of mouth on this thing is, well, anyway, I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and we're going to talk about Fixed, because I don't have an emotional attachment to Genji Tartakovsky? Genji? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce their name. They've contributed a lot to animation, mainly through like Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack. I mean, those are two like iconic cartoons that helped build the Cartoon Network. But they've gone on to do several other projects, including like the Hotel Transylvania franchise. And now there's this, which is wildly different, and it's pissing fans off. This is one of those things where I guess on the internet, the pitchforks, the torches have been raised, and Fixed got dropped from its original distributor. It was over at WBD. It was going to be released under New Line. Nope. Had to float and find a new home, where it ended up finding a new home at Netflix. So parents, I hope you have your parental controls on, because this is an adult animated comedy, and I highlight that with emphasis a lot. Like a lot. Like even blind kids, like I wouldn't, like, I know they can't like see the jokes. The jokes are so raunchy here. If you didn't let your kids watch Sausage Party, you're not going to let your kids watch Fixed. It's just, I think this is worse than what I remember from Strays. I think we went further than Strays. So I'm also getting confused because there are people who claim that they saw it early, but then again, their plot description of it is not great. So let's actually talk about what the movie's about. It does have audio description. I think it's done by International Digital Center, but that's just a guess, because my thing speaks to me. I'm blind, so I like watch things in a way where I have to have screen readers, and all of your off of streaming services, when they like transition and they want you to click on the next thing, it like speaks to me that there's like been a pop-up menu. It's like, come to Netflix, and it does it right on top of the audio description. I think it's Julian Smith. I mean, like, these are just things that I'm guessing from. Could be Descriptive Video Works. I'd be surprised if it was anybody other than those companies, because I'm trying to think of like, okay, so if it's Julian, who does he work with? He works with one of those two companies. So, I don't even know what to do with this film. I've listened to other people talk about it. That's why I learned about the controversy, the just downright hatred for it. I can't wait to see what this film's score is. I did not understand. I was like, I haven't seen the Critical Drinker talking about this. Did he tell the internet to hate this again? There's no Rachel Ziegler in this. Why are we so angry? So I don't get it. But I guess it would be like if you found out that like Mel Blanc made Sausage Party, you'd be upset. I don't know. So maybe you just don't, when your child animation heroes go on to do something raunchy, you're just like, I don't want this. So what it's actually about is Bull is voiced by Adam Devine, who sounds so much like Adam Conover too, like from Adam Ruins Everything. Could have been either one of them. Like, they could swap for each other at times. I heard Adam Conover as much as I heard Adam Devine. I was like, what on earth is happening here? And he's a little puppy that is reaching maturity, and he humps everything, like everything. And this film explores it in great detail. There's a the film starts off, just to let you know, like pretty close to the beginning of it, with an extended sequence of him humping grandma's leg. She's not really sure what's going on in life. Um, so, and like mentions of dog penises being visible, lots of talk about balls. Not those kind, not the ones they chase. So he's attracted to and friends with Honey, who's the thing about this is that in the audio description I never got what breeds of dogs these are. That was the thing that sort of disappointed me. So I learned she's like an Afghan. And Honey is voiced by Kathryn Hahn. That's right. And she's a show dog, so she's like a purebred show dog, and he's not purebred. But they still have fun, and he's really into her, but is too afraid to tell her. It's too shy. They're neighbors. It's kind of cute, like their dynamic back and forth, because it kind of plays out the way that you think it would, like with two dogs that like each other on either side of the fence. So, and then he goes to the park where he has a whole bunch of like other friends at the park that are voiced by at least Idris Elba and Fred Armisen. I don't know who else was there. Beck Bennett voices this sort of like the villain of the film, if there is one. He's just kind of a douche. It's just really what he is. So, so he's there and talking with his friends when he learns that one of his friends, Lucky, just had his balls snipped, and he describes this event as, you know, like I went home and I had this perfect day, like a yes day, where he got to do everything. He got to eat all this cool food and drink from the toilet, and you know, everything. And then the next day they took him to the veteran, and the veterinarian, they took him to a veteran who shot his balls off. They took him to a veterinarian who's, you know, fixed him. The title of the movie. So immediately after this, of course, it happens to Bull. No surprise. That's literally where the movie needs to go. So he's sort of having like a little bit of a panic attack, but also enjoying getting to do all of the stupid little things that dogs try to do, but being actually given permission to do them. Like they actually put like Kool-Aid in the toilet. I don't think anybody actually does this stuff, but whatever, fine. It's okay. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Who cares? It's an adult animated cartoon. If you watch most of these adult animated cartoons, a lot of them don't make sense. So he's having his yes day and living his best life when, after that, he decides, nope, not gonna do it. Not my balls. And he sort of breaks out and runs away. He's able to like squeeze through the fence around the house and then takes off on his own adventure. And this is where I'm separating from other critics, because a whole bunch of other critics keep pushing the Netflix narrative, where they keep saying like his friends encourage him to go on this journey, and they go on this journey with him, where the boys are having a night on town. Nope. That is not what this movie is. Anybody who's telling you what that is lying. And I question whether or not they've actually seen the movie. That would be a dead ringer to me of, no, he leaves on his own. He goes out on his own. It's not until later in the film that his guys find him. The guys show up at just the right time after he has already he runs through like a food festival. He gets high, like he gets contact high from like some people who are hotboxing. He gets attacked by some rats. Like he's exploring the city on his own, and it's not until he's getting jumped by a gang of cats that his boys show up. Like it's not their idea. They didn't go with him. They just like found him. And then later on they find out that, that his owners are looking for him or whatever. So, and then they miss him and whatever, want him back. But he's still going to keep going all over town, trying to, I don't know, have a free life or whatever, do whatever. They do everything that you think a dog would do, but they do like the R-rated adult animation version of it. So like they do squirrel, but in this version they actually catch the squirrel and like brutally murder it. And then they're like, why do we do this? Like they don't even understand. They like rip its head off. It's dead. So there's a commentary on that. They don't even know why they chase squirrels. They're uncomfortable. Like Bull's like, I don't want its blood on me. Why is So, and of course they mistake a skunk for squirrel. That happens. We have that joke where somebody gets sprayed by skunk. They free a little dog from one of those like dog purses, which leads to like a hilarious joke. Eventually Bull's gonna see his girlfriend, his best friend / wannabe girlfriend is headed to this show dog thing. And they have a quick little interaction, and then the gang decides to go to the show and break in so that Bull can confess his love and whatever. But they get there and all the dogs they're all sort of in this like robotic weird mode. They all sort of are like Beck Bennett's character, where they're not really getting to be dogs. They're too controlled. And they're all worried about their whatever. Meanwhile, so it's this idea of like freedom versus like not. Like where your dog's giving up. Made me think actually a little bit about like working dogs, about how we use them as blind people, because like this film's obviously having a commentary on like these overly trained show dogs and what their lives are actually like, and their attitudes, and being kind of prim and proper. And in the middle of that is Honey, who wants to be more like the boys, but just keeps getting forced in these competitions and wants to please her owner or whatever, because she's like a purebred. Anyway, so he decides whatever. I can't remember. He sees her and she looks happy. She wins something or whatever, and I don't know, they leave. Then they end up at like a dog strip club. That was like the one scene where I was uncomfortable, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Everything else was always sort of like the human perspective of, well, I could see this happening. Well, I could see this from the dog's perspective. Well, I could see this. And I was like, okay, so they don't have a full-on strip club. Like, this is not a real thing where they have like a whorehouse. Like, this is not a thing in real life. And the trans dog made me uncomfortable, but not because of trans representation, but because I'm pretty certain that no one from that community is involved in the making of this movie. So it's just this, it's used not for the reasons in which it could be or should be used. It's very weird and confusing and unnecessary. But that was weird. I think there's also like a rape that happens in the club. The whole club scene just did not work for me at all. I would have excised that. It felt like the orgy scene from Sausage Party, just done really horribly wrong. That was the scene. I was like, nope, not working. Eventually, like, Honey finds him there, and she's like, oh, I can't believe you come to a place like this. So he ends up heading home, and he reunites with his owners. There's also a kind of a cool moment because they don't really do much with his friends, but Idris Elba's character finally gets to do something. He's like a boxer, and he sort of accidentally ends up in the boxer competition at the show thing, and he keeps talking about how he was one of many, and his mom had like 14 of them to take care of. I think he was the runt of the litter. So, and yeah, I needed more description on the dogs. I didn't love the description of the raunchy stuff is really good. I did not get enough description of what these dogs look like or even what breeds they are. So I'm not super excited about the description for once. I'm just like, there are also times when I feel like they talk so much about their dicks and their balls. I'm like, is that the gag? Are they out all the time? Are people just like walking around looking at dongs with dog penises hanging down all the time and balls? And I was thinking about like the way that the animation style is drawn, and I just had a lot of questions. But I know it's traditional animation, and whatever. So I don't want to like spoil the ending of the movie, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So this is the whole movie. This is fixed, by the way, the whole thing. So he ends up going home and reuniting with his owners because Honey has rejected him. And then he finds out that Honey is set to mate with Beck Bennett's character, who I forgot what his name is. It doesn't really matter. Stallion or something. I don't fucking care. And this is one of the most uncomfortable, weirdest things that I have ever sat through. I laughed and cringed simultaneously, and I didn't think that was possible. Like, it did get me. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. I actually thought they were about to do something different. And then they didn't do that. They went halfway with it because the way that he lands suggested I was almost like, are they going to do a three-way in the middle of an animated cartoon? So the owners of Beck Bennett's character and Honey's owners have decided to let them breed so they can make more, purebred puppies. I'm guessing Beck Bennett's dog is also the same breed, like an Afghan, whatever, hound or whatever they're called. That's when he decides, not today. That's when Paul's like, not today. So he wants to stop because nobody likes Beck Bennett's character. He's such a douche, and he is. I mean, Beck Bennett does such a great job with his character. It's perfect casting. I keep wondering after he left Saturday Night Live, I was like, where is Beck Bennett? He's constantly making me crack up, and then it's like, this is the perfect casting for Beck Bennett. So more so than anybody else in the cast, I think Beck Bennett just nailed it. Eventually he tries a couple times unsuccessfully to jump the fence. Eventually Idris Elba has to help him because I think he's the big dog. So he helps launch Bull over the fence, and Bull bounces sort of cartoonishly for a little while before landing, and the description did say on the back of Honey. So, and it seems like he lands there right before Beck Bennett enters. So I thought they were going to go full three-way. It's just a really uncomfortable scene where Bull is bottoming for Beck Bennett's dog, who does not notice. And that's the gag. So Bull, quote unquote, takes the bullet for Honey. And I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I almost was thinking, how can this film push boundaries? And sure, that's a way to push the boundary to use gay sex with a straight dog as with Straight Dogs as being like the gag, but then you're using it as a gag because it's like it like repulses you, which makes me uncomfortable as a gay blind film critic. Surprise. But he also lands on top of Honey, and I kind of thought the gag was going to be that they were just going to go ahead and do a three-way, and like he'd be in the middle, and that was going to be what was happening. No, Honey gets saved, and then ends up later on, she goes over, and the movie ends with them having sex and whatever. Well, he gets his, well, they have sex, and then he gets his balls snipped, and then he's at the park, and later on you see Honey has like a whole bunch of mixed puppies that are hers and Buck's and Bulls, and they think that Beck Bennett's character is, I don't know, useless, so he ends up getting his movie ends with him finding out that he gets to have a yes day, you know. They put Kool-Aid in the toilet for him, and he's like, no, not me. So, it's all right. I don't quite understand like the wild hatred for it. It has some moments that make me uncomfortable, but a lot of adult animation does that for me. Like I couldn't watch Big Mouth anymore. Like at some point, I know that they're voiced by adults, but watching a whole bunch of little kids do what they're doing it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And I couldn't make the Big Mouth. So Sausage Party was different because it was food. So food doesn't have, I mean, they put gender on food, but food doesn't have gender. Food doesn't have anything. Food is just food. Your bagel does not have a gender. Your bagel does not have a gender identity. It's just food. But they have to give it to them because they have to cast some voice talent in it. So it's different when they do it with Sausage Party. Here, it's a hornier version of Strays. And some of the jokes land and some of the jokes don't land. I think it's unfair to completely say that this whole film is a complete waste of time. It's only like 80 something minutes, not even 90. It's like under an hour and a half. I would not let kids watch this. Your kid needs to be double digits, because they're like, if your kid is talking like these kids are talking, you have failed as a parent. If your kids are already on this level and they're in the single digits, you have failed as a parent. That's just, I'm putting that out there. Your kids should not be talking this way and learning and thinking about weird strip clubs and sex and stuff like that before they're even in the double digits, because it's not even where puberty takes place. Like, what is the point of an 8-year-old walking around talking about balls and testicles? Why would you do that to yourself? They're going to be doing it about it. They're going to be doing that anyway in like 5 years. So wait then, and then let them watch this movie. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to be 17 to watch this. This is not, I mean, that's like, there are plenty of R-rated comedies that I saw before 17, because all of the stuff that was in there, I already knew what they were. So this is like somewhere between, this is like Know Your Kids, but like, if your kids are below single digits, are in the single digits, I don't know. I can't with you. If they're already talking about balls and testicles before they even hit puberty, whatever. This is dumb. It's a dumb movie, but it's occasionally funny. It's quick. It's got a great voice cast behind it. I wish they had developed out the friends a little bit more, but especially considering everybody just keeps suggesting that it is like a friend trip that they go on. They don't want a friend trip. This isn't The Hangover. This is sort of like The Hangover if we saw it from Justin Bartha's perspective, and like how he went out on the roof and then like later on we checked on the friends who were trying to catch up to him. It's a little bit more like that. Like, he does go out on his own. Like, he chooses to leave his house on his own, and he like names his testicles, and he has like a conversation with his testicles, and there's a whole bunch of dumb shit that happens without any of his friends around. So that's what makes me question about all of the other people who are like, I've seen this movie, here's the plot summary. And I'm like, that's not what the plot summary is. That's what Netflix wants you to say what the plot summary is. But you should be really uncomfortable about continuing to push a false narrative. I don't do that. I don't care. Maybe that's why I didn't screen this film, is they were putting a hard line on, it's a buddy comedy. I mean, it eventually is, but that's not from the get-go. It has some sweet moments. I mean, honestly, Bull and Honey have great chemistry. I don't hate this movie. I think it has problems and it makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like how it uses LGBTQ culture in here. But then again, a lot of these comedies, I could say that about. A lot of adult animation struggle to really feel like, how do you do authentic LGBTQ representation, because they're trying to reach the widest audience, and the widest audience would find that scene to be hilarious, presumably, right? The straight dog nailing the other straight dog is to them cringy hilarious. Like, that's bro comedy. That's like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. You know? I definitely, sort of like earlier this year, I reviewed Distant, which is now called Long Distance, which was a film that was shelved for a long time, and that just got buried on Hulu. It's not even like the right distributor. It's a Universal movie, and it's buried on Hulu, and I don't understand it. Like, they didn't even want to make it a Peacock release. They tried so hard. Like, Universal just wanted to get away from that movie, and there's nothing to get away from. It's not embarrassingly awful. From a blind perspective, I wish it had audio description, but everything I can tell about that movie says it's just like a basic adventure. There's nothing about this that is so, like, malformed that somebody just wouldn't want to release it ever. These things where we just keep trying to... You know what film should have never been released? War of the Worlds. Amazon had no problem releasing War of the Worlds. They didn't try to sell that to anybody else. That was theirs. They kept it on the shelf for 5 years, but they did eventually release Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. And I guarantee you they tested that movie to every single person on the living planet, and everybody was like, no, fuck this movie. Because by 2025, the longer you wait, the kitschiness of doing that thing where we're in a pandemic and we have to film movies this way, it's dead. We don't want this kind of movie anymore. We're tired of this kind of thing. We're past the pandemic. No more of this. So they totally missed the boat on that. And I don't know that all of those movies are going to age well. Here, this is just, it's confusing because it's coming after Strays. I think that's why New Line dropped it, is because Strays didn't do well. So, they were like, well, why would we release another version of Strays? Because it's not, and I like Strays more, to be honest, but I'm not that low on this, guys. I'm going fresh. I wish they'd take a couple jokes out. I would take the entire strip club scene out, not just the transgender joke. The whole scene would go. I would cut that entire thing and just make the movie like 5 minutes shorter. But yeah, I'm gonna give Fixed, which I don't even love the audio description for. It's all right. Like, I like the narrator, but I was frustrated that I didn't know more about what the dogs look like. So that kind of killed it for me, in case you're wondering. I don't know who made it, but I have no problem saying it. And if I know you and we're friends or whatever, why aren't the breeds here? That's so weird. Or like at least a description of the dog to try to describe what the dog might look like if it's a mutt. Something. But But yeah, I'm gonna give Fixed 7.1 out of 10. So yeah, it made me laugh. There are a couple scenes specifically, I don't want to ruin all the jokes. I did tell you the whole movie, but I didn't tell you all the jokes. There are a couple gags that worked on me, and I avoided them. So, yeah. So hopefully you'll like this. You probably won't, and that's okay. But hopefully you give it a chance just based on wanting, just watching the movie and not listening to trolls on the internet. I think we all have to do that. Stop, just ignore trolls. Trolls are awful for films in general because they can attack any film, they can attach themselves to any film or any actor or any actress at any time. And when you start seeing in your scroll that everybody's hating on a certain movie before it's ever been released, they don't know, they haven't seen the movie. It's sort of like James Gunn pointed out that people were talking about how Robin is in Batman 2, and he's like, 6 people have read the script. No one knows. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of people who haven't seen the movie and who are bashing it on concept alone. And I think we should all see things. Like, there are things that I don't see, but I just say that I don't want to see them. And I don't go around bashing them and making film videos about why I don't want to see Terrifier and why I think Terrifier is really bad. You know, like, that doesn't exist. Am I going to watch Terrifier? No. No, it's not my thing. I know it's not my thing. Why would I go watch it? But I'm also not going to jump into the comments of Terrifier and be like, this film is everything that's wrong with it. I haven't seen it. I don't know. So those people need to go away. All of those people who keep doing that to films, like Snow White has this epically low IMDb score. None of those people fucking saw that movie. It's not a 1 point something IMDb movie. It's just not. If you've seen Snow White, nobody in their right mind, not that many people, would downvote it so far that it would be like below like Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's just... Do you realize how hard people have to downvote to get a film into the ones on IMDb? Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.